And we're finally back to What If Ash, was sponsored by Giovanni. Sorry for the delay and for the first episode. It was not on purpose. And having some computer issues are solved, so I'm hoping to get this one out on Monday and another episode out on Friday for you to make up for the 2 weeks I haven't been able to get up, or 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know how long it's been at this point. But we're gonna rejoin our journey with Gary. He's just battling some trainers in a double battle with his male and female Minoran, and the Beedrill that was fully evolved, and the Weedle he fought, which and they win a double battle too, and Weedle evolves into Kakuna. Gary enters into the Mount Moon, sending out Squirtle when he sees a Geodude he wants to catch. Of course, this is Mount Moon though, so a swarm of Zubat are going to attack, and Gary sends in his Kakuna and Beedrill to fight them off. Zubat uses Bite and Leech Life. The Zubats are using Bite and Leech Life, as Kakuna is using Harden to protect, as Beedrill is using Fury Attack to scare them off. But one gets caught in the Fury Attack, and Gary is able to capture a Zubat. Squirtle uses Water Gun, setting Geodude into a wall. Gary catches Geodude and finds two Moonstones, which you may or may not know what they're going to be used for eventually. Gary returns to the Pewter City gym, and Brock is confused. Brock asks him, can he help him with something? As Gary tells Brock he just caught a Geodude and would like to train with Brock's Geodude. Brock is happy to agree, and they train together, as this is where we'll leave Gary for right now. We rejoin Ash on the same route that Gary was just on, battling double battles. And in a double battle with Pidgeotto and Metapod, Metapod evolves into Butterfree. Along with Pidgeotto and Butterfree, Ash is training Meowth mainly. Entering Mount Moon, the only event in Mount Moon worth noting is that James catches a Zubat. And this Zubat might seem familiar because, in my canon opinion, this is the same one that Brock would have caught in the correct timeline. But that's just a little universe breaking. So let's just move on. They make it to Cerulean City, and the talking Meow gives Ash DM24, and he teaches his Meow. Before they leave, Jesse and James say they have an errand to run, and Ash will face the Cerulean Gym leaders, with an S, alone. Ash is confused by leaders, which is what I just said, but he goes off to the gym anyway. Ash wants to challenge Misty's sisters, who just try to give him the badge, but Ash demands a battle when Misty walks in and says that they'll have a 3-on-3 battle. Misty starts the battle off with Goldeen against Ash's Meowth, and the battle begins. As Meowth uses Scratch, but is countered by Goldeen's Horn Attack, Ash says, just like he planned. Misty asks what? Goldeen uses Agility and then Supersonic. Meowth jumps over the Supersonic. Misty says, just like she planned. Goldeen then uses Water Gun, knocking Meowth into the water. Goldeen hits a horn attack on Meowth, but Meowth grabs Goldeen's horn and uses Thunderbolt on Goldeen, frying Goldeen in the water. Ash now sends out Pidgeotto to help Meowth out of the water and declares Pidgeotto as his next Pokemon against a Pokemon that Misty will use next. And Misty declares next is Starmie, and they'll battle. Starmie will battle Pidgeotto. They both collide with a tackle attack. Then Starmie uses Water Gun, but Pidgeotto dodges, and Pidgeotto uses Sand Attack, followed by a Gust to blind Starmie. Starmie spins using Water Gun, hitting Pidgeotto, and then Pidgeotto spins into a Quick Attack, and then a Quick Attack and a Wing Attack. They both. Oh, excuse me. Pidgeotto spins into a Quick Attack, and then a Wing Attack. They both hit the gem, knocking out Starmie, which declares Pidgeotto the winner. Misty's final Pokemon is Staryu, and Ash will start with Butterfree this time. They both use Harden. Ash quickly realizing this won't work, he recalls Butterfree to his Pokeball and sends out his next Pokemon. Ash sends out Pidgeotto using Wing Attack, aiming for the gem, but Misty knows this now and counters with a Water Gun and a Double Edge. Pidgeotto looks to use Tackle, colliding with Staryu's Tackle, but Pidgeotto faints. Ash is very confused, and Misty explains that that was not a Tackle attack, but Pidgeotto learned Double Edge, and the recoil damage knocked out Pidgeotto. Ash now sends into battle Meow, who goes for Thunderbolt that Staryu dodges. Meow connects with a scratch attack, sending Staryu into the water. Meow puts his tail into the water and uses Thunderbolt, beating Staryu to win the battle and the Cerulean City Gym Badge. Ash now has two gym badges that he actually earned, unlike the cannon. That's, again, for wall breaking. I should probably stop saying that. As Ash battled Misty, Jesse and James and the Talking Mouth caught Pokemon at Mount Moon and around the Cerulean City area, sending them over to Giovanni. Back with Gary now, he trained with Kangaskhan and Pikachu. Gary battles the sensational sisters. Lily uses Shelter, Daisy uses Goldeen, and Violet uses Sea King in one-on-one battles. Pikachu beats Shelter with Thundershock, and then he goes on to beat Goldeen with the same Thundershock. Pikachu's Thundershock becomes Thunderbolt thanks to Kangaskhan's training to defeat Sea King, earning him also the Cerulean City Badge. On a beach, Gary sees and uses Pikachu's Thunderbolt to catch an unusually large Krabby. But this Krabby is going straight to Professor Oak's lab due to Gary having 6 Pokemon on his team already. At the Pokemon Center, Ash tells Jesse and James about his battle with Misty. Jesse and James discuss with Ash he is mainly battling with Meowth, Pidgeotto, and Butterfree. While Ash does train Rattata and Spearow, they think that Rattata and Spearow will be better off staying at the Viridian City Gym with Giovanni. After discussing this among the three of them and the Talking Meowth, and then eventually asking Giovanni what he thinks, they decide to send Rattata and Spearow to the Viridian City Gym, with Ash saying he will call on them when he needs them. With now only 3 Pokemon, Ash dominates the Nugget Bridge with Meowth, Pidgeotto, and Butterfree. In this time, Meowth learns Fury Swipes. Butterfree learns Confusion, Dust, and Sleep Powder. Pidgeotto knows the moves it's going to know for the rest of the series, probably, but you never know what I wrote down, and I don't remember. But Ash did dominate Nugget Bridge here. Ash takes a walk as his Pokemon are being looked at the Pokemon Center in Cerulean City. Ash goes to a beach and sees a Krabby. Ash battles it with a stick. Krabby chops the stick in half with a Ice Cream attack. Ash throws the Pokeball and captures Krabby, adding Krabby to his team as his 4th Pokemon on the squad. Giovanni calls Jesse and James, and he discusses a plan that he has been planning and patching together that will be happening soon. They go into a garden with James looking to catch an Oddish when a Bulbasaur who is mistrusting of humans, other than Melissa who runs the garden, protects Oddish. Melissa explains the garden's purpose is to help abandoned and injured Pokemon to come and relax. And James apologizes for trying to catch Oddish as Jesse, James, Meowth, Talking Meowth, and Ash bond with Melissa. This isn't a Pokemon series without a real Team Rocket, and that's where Butch and Cassidy will be playing. Will be playing off in this series as they attack the forest using a suction hose sucking up the Pokemon. Oddish flies as Bulbasaur uses its spines to grab Oddish. Bulbasaur starts to be lifted off the ground when Ash grabs him. Ash sends out Butterfree and Pidgeotto to break the suction lines with gust attacks, freeing the Pokemon. But but with Butterfree's confusion attack, helping the Pokemon down safely, and Pidgeotto uses wing attack to pop the balloon. Meow uses Thunderbolt to send Butch and Cassidy blasting off once again. Bulbasaur starts to speak to Ash, but it's unclear what he is saying until the talking Meow translates for Bulbasaur, who says what Ash did, it will allow Ash to battle him with Meow. Bulbasaur uses Tackle, colliding with Meowth's Bite Attack. Bulbasaur uses Vine Whip and then Leech Seed. Meowth uses Thunderbolt to get the seeds off of him. Bulbasaur uses Razor Leaf, connecting with Meowth. A second barrage is fired of the Razor Leaf attack, with Meowth using Fury swipes to cut the leaves and then hits a slash, which is a critical hit. Bulbasaur grabs Meowth with its vines, and Meowth uses Thunderbolt to beat, and then Ash, allowing Ash to capture Bulbasaur, adding this to the fifth member of his current roster, active roster. Not too long after Ash leaves, Silver, who has his Bulbasaur and Rhyhorn out ready to confront whoever they need to, comes to this hidden garden. He tells Melissa he's looking for a Pokemon that his dad did experiments on. Meanwhile, Ash finds a Charmander on a rock. He tries to get him to the Pokemon Center, but James convinces Ash to move on because Bulbasaur, because Charmander won't move because he is waiting for his trainer to return. Ash reductively agrees to leave Charmander. At the Pokemon Center, Ash overhears Damien bragging about abandoning Charmander. Ash scolds Damien, who doesn't care. When it rains, Ash and James save Charmander, but Ash wakes up in the morning to find Charmander is back on the rock. Ash knows that Damien doesn't care about his Charmander, so he offers him a trade, with Damien accepting the trade. Ash trades Damien an empty Pokeball, with Damien finding out, saying he does. Damien finds out he's pissed off, but Ash said he deserves it for abandoning Charmander. And then Ash challenged Damien to a battle. If he wins, he'll have every single one of his Pokemon. But if Ash wins, he's allowed to go find Charmander. Damien is confused why they didn't do this on the Pokemon Center battlefield. But Ash wanted Damien to be out here to get some fresh air so they can really have their battle. But what Ash really did was bring him right near Charmander, not near, but like Charmander's in the background. It can see the battle going on. Charmander's mind is he'll reunite with the trainer after the battle's over as he sees Krabby and Growlithe come out of their Pokeballs. Growlithe uses a bite attack on one of Krabby's arms. Krabby uses Harden and Vice Grip to free itself. Krabby uses Stomp, and that's when Damien starts yelling at Growlithe to do better. Growlithe uses Ember, but Krabby uses a water gun, evaporating the flame. Damien yells at Growlithe to power that Ember up, hitting a flamethrower to Krabby's arm, damaging it a lot. Damien then tells Growlithe he's taking too long and demands Growlithe to finish this with a fire blast. Krabby is able to jump up and avoid the fire blast, and with all his might, Krabby uses the best water gun it can to take out Growlithe, winning Ash the battle. After the battle, Damien scolds Growlithe for losing as Charmander starts to come over and is in the presence of Damien and Ash. Damien wants Charmander back, but Charmander learned his lesson that Damien is a jerk watching the battle and uses flamethrower on Damien. Charmander sides with Ash because and wants to go with Ash because Charmander saw how Ash saved him and how he was not rude to his Pokemon like Krabby. uh, like Damien was to him, seeing how good he took care of Krabby in the battle. And Charmander knows when he woke up in the morning, it was him, Ash, who saved him from the rain. Now Ash recalls him since he has the rightful Pokeball, which I don't think that should ever flew with the anime, because that's probably why Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard didn't listen to Ash, but that's a story for another time. That's a theory. And that is the sixth member of Ash's team for right now. Ash and Team Rocket fall into a hole dug by a bunch of squirrels. Jesse wants to go after the Squirrel Squad, which of these squirrels are called, but James says they need to move on. By the time they get out of the hole, the Squirrel Squad is gone, so they cannot encounter them. Unfortunately for Jesse, who's a little hot headed at this moment. We return to Silver, who is at the Pokemon Forest. He does see the Pokemon he came for, which is a pink Caterpie, and asks Melissa if he can capture this Caterpie. Melissa leaves it up to Caterpie. Bulbasaur and Rhyhorn talk to Caterpie, and Caterpie agrees to go with Silver, making it the third member of Silver's team. But Silver is not the only character we are focusing on other than Ash, and the other one is Gary, who uses his Geodude to battle Lieutenant Surge. Raichu uses the Mega Punch. Geodude uses Harden. Raichu uses Mega Kick. Geodude hardens. Raichu uses Body Slam. Body Slam. Geodude uses Harden. Raichu uses Takedown, but Geodude hardens. Raichu is breathing hard from going for all these attacks, and Geodude just uses his big attack to knock out Raichu. Which really means if you brought a ground type to this anime style Raichu, you probably could win. Really easy. Like Gary just did. And Gary knew that. But something's wrong with Geodude as it starts to glow. After Geodude battled Raichu, it evolved into Graveler. Then Gary asked Lieutenant Surge, who has the evolved form of a Pikachu, which he has, if he would Lieutenant Surge would wonder if Kangaskhan and Pikachu could train with his Raichu, explaining the situation and Pikachu's backstory. Surge agrees to help Gary, who very easily beat him with his newly evolved Graveler. Now Jesse, James, Meowth, the Talking Meowth, and Ash are in Vermilion City. Jesse and James tell Ash at the Pokemon Center that Rattata would be a good choice to face his next gym challenger. Ash gets Rattata, sending Krabby back for Rattata. Jesse and James say that Krabby would have been the worst choice on his team, but won't tell him why. Don't tell Ash why, and he thanks them for not doing that. Saying he wants to do this challenge for himself. They all enter Vermilion City Gym, and Lieutenant Surge has his Raichu out, accepting Ash's challenge. But as Ash throws his ball to see Rattata come out, he may be in for a little surprise. Eradicate comes out of the Pokeball, which confuses Ash and Lieutenant Surge. But we're going to pick up with the Vermilion City Gym badge in the next episode. So, guys, what do you think of all the new captures between Ash and Gary's team? That Gary is going back to train Pokemon. Gary is going back to train Pokemon that he has, or at least in the evolution line, with the gym leader. What do you think of Silver capturing a pink Caterpie? What do you think that story is going to lead? And what do you think of Ash sending Spearow and Rattata just for Rattata to rejoin Ash's team? Uh, Rejoining the team now in this confused state that we'll elaborate more on when we start the beginning of the third episode. What do you think that Coach and Cassidy are now in the Jesse and James position? And what do you think of Ash's captures of Bulbasaur and Charmander actually battling Damien to capture Charmander? All these questions and more will be answered as the journey continues. So stay nice with disability rights, and I'll see you in the next episode, which should be out on Friday.